What's going on, everybody? It's Monkeyfarm, and we are here in my Satisfactory world, and look, we are above the flying mantis. I bet we could jump on him. This is my world that I've been live streaming every Sunday since the game came out, and we've been having a lot of fun, and I built this elevator, player elevator, so that I could get up to the top and check out the top of the space elevator. There's really, I don't think there's anything to check out up there. But the reason I actually built this is because I kept wanting to get on top of this cliff from down here, and it was too high to put a little bouncer pad up there. So I'm like, well, maybe I could just build a huge elevator, and here we are. So I'm going to show you how to build it. Let's head down to the bottom. I did test a couple different ways to do it, like to see what was faster, or could we automate it more? Do we, can we do it without moving? All this kind of stuff. So I'll go over all of that stuff with you. It's pretty easy to build, so we shouldn't have too much trouble. Let's head down here. Wow. All right, and we'll also build a couple levels up and get a little closer to the top of the space elevator. But I made it kind of look nice on the outside. You don't have to waste all these walls like I did. It can be a lot cheaper. So I'll go over that as well, and let's get started. All right, here's the view from ground level. Let's take a ride up to the top real quick, and then we'll go over how to build it. Also, I want to show you the back side. I left it open so you can see everything going on the inside. There's our flying menace friend again. It's actually kind of difficult with the bouncy pads. You can't really put power poles up there on the same block if you have walls on all the surrounding walls anyway. But the easiest way to do this is you bounce on the wall, and you move to the left, and you move to the right, and you move to the left again, and you move to the right again. And you don't really have to look. You can bump into the walls and stuff. It doesn't really affect much. Once you get to the top, you just kind of make sure you land on the right spot. And look at the view from this place. You can see, like, so far, so awesome up here. Actually looks really cool. There's our iron factory, there's our steel factory, there's our screw you guys, I'm going home factory. Alright, I was going to build it over there, but the shadow of this thing is actually making it all dark over there, so we're going to do it here. Basically what you need to do to start is put two foundations down next to each other. So this is a 2x1 little block area here, and then what you want to do is take walls and put 6 walls up from there. And if you don't know how to build up walls like that, if you just point the cursor at the top of this wall right here, the next one will highlight up. That should be pretty easy, but just in case for some reason you haven't built walls up there, and then put a foundation up at the top. It doesn't have to be a half foundation, but it needs to be on the top half of that little wall there, so it needs to be flush with the top. And then pointed towards that, we are going to put our first jump pad. And like I said, you need to have the stairs pointed at you. Actually, I think we want to put it in the middle of the block, so you do want to have like a little bit of space here. So that's in the center. And of course we're going to need power, so let's grab a little power pole right here. I'll bring a power pole over here, and let's put one on the block, and see how I mentioned you can't really put walls around this edge because it takes up too much space. It doesn't let you build the wall if you have a power pole here. You could build power poles on the outside and kind of build them up on the side and then feed them in, and that way you could have walls, I guess. But anyway, so we're going to hop up to the next level. Alright, I had to grab some biomass because before you get too far up there, what you're going to want to do is put your landing pad down. Of course, we're getting close to the other elevator, but you're going to want to put this down, and it takes up quite a bit of space, as you can see, the jelly landing pad. And then you want to power that up because, as you can see, I only have 3 bars of health, and that's because I fell off a bunch of times because I hadn't put the jelly pad on, and I had no other way to get down. Alright, so let's put a gate wall down there, and you can actually build gates next to the power poles. You just can't build walls. So let me show you real quick here. If I try to put a regular wall down, it's not going to let me do it. But the ones with the big openings, we're allowed to place them there. So that's really cool. That way you don't have to have any like gaps in your wall. Now, I would normally like rotate these back and forth, as you can see each level, you know, just so you can tell how many levels. You can count easier that way. But for the sake of being quick, we're just going to do it however the wall comes out. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we're level with where we landed up here. Now, we're going to have to put a temporary foundation here, and then we're going to do the exact same thing that we did at the ground level. We're going to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to put a foundation up at the top of that. And then what you want to do, and actually you can put a foundation lower to make it easier, and you're going to want to put walls, whoops, all the way down and leave 2 openings here. So 2 walls of openings. That's so the player, you can bounce in and get through without bouncing into the wall and falling back down. But the reason you want these walls here is because when we have this bouncer bouncing us up there, if we push to the side too quickly, we could just hit our head on that and fall down and get hurt. We wouldn't make it all the way up to the top. So anyway, that's what we need to do there. Now I'm gonna point this this stairway this direction. You can decide how you want to do that. Like I said, you can have it if you're going side to side, you might want to have the stairs pointed this direction rather than that way. It doesn't really matter to me, but if you're going side to side, you don't want this stuff, all this stuff blocking you. So I, at least on the upper levels, I like to have the stairs pointed towards the middle. And then, of course, we need to get power up here. Now, the reason I put power on that side is because if it were on this side of that block, you can't bring it up here. So what we're going to actually have to do is bring a power line up here and then put another one over on this corner. If I can find the right spot. Because this power line won't reach, we won't be able to build it here. It'll say encroaching other object or whatever it says. So let's power this thing up real quick and we can hop up to our next level. See how I'm just rubbing against the side of the wall here? Now we can make it over here, but if you do it that way, it's harder to land on the pad every time. So I didn't build it 7 blocks high or 7 walls high because it just makes it more consistent. You don't really have to try to hit the pad every time when you do 6 walls. If you do 7 walls, sometimes you'll land in front of the stairs and then you'll have to walk into the next jumpy pad and everything. So anyway, it's just a lot easier doing 6 walls. Alright, one other thing I wanted to show you that I tested is I put stairs on the block across and up one from this area, and to see if I could automate this where I wouldn't even have to push side to side each time we jumped off the bouncy pad. The problem with that is that it wasn't consistent. Sometimes it would bounce you into the pad and sometimes it wouldn't. Plus, you would have to only build each level up 5 walls instead of 6. Because as you can see right here, this is 6 walls, and there's not enough power left to push us over. But when you're at 5 blocks, and you bump your head against this, it can push you a little bit better. So you have a better chance of hitting the pad. But it was very inconsistent, so I just decided, you know what? I can push a key on my keyboard once every 2 or 3 seconds for like a second. And be 100% sure that I'm going to get where I want to go, right? So, ultimately it turned out that it wasn't worth trying to automate the bouncing and shoving over to the other side. Basically, that's the summary of that test. But anyway, that is kind of, that's pretty much the whole thing. So you can just build that repeatedly as many times as you want. and obviously until you hit sky level. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. Check out my other tutorial video. I did a 16 conveyor belt elevator in a 2x2 area. Check out that video if you didn't see it. It was pretty cool as well. And as I mentioned, I am streaming over on my Twitch channel every Sunday, and occasionally posting other tutorial videos here. So wow, look at the view. It's beautiful up here. It'd be more beautiful up at the top. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, I would greatly appreciate it. And make sure you're subscribed so we can see you guys next time.